In the two little villages in China called Chongtongchun and Tengwuchun came my father and my mother. However, they met in a foreign city called Shenzhen, where they were both working to provide for their families back in the villages. In 1993, they started dating, and not too long after that, they tied the knot. At that time, my mum was only 20 and my dad was 24. Shortly after they got married, they were expecting a baby. Little me. I was born in 1996 in Shenzhen's People's Hospital. After a few days, I was sent home with my mum to our little modest apartment that my parents worked very hard to buy. In the first 3 years of my childhood, I was brought up by my popo, my maternal grandmother, and my gongong, my maternal grandfather. I felt like I was closer to them than I was to my parents, because my parents were always working to provide for us. I was a very spoilt child. I refused to eat. My popo had to use all her creative juices to find new ways to get me to eat a few spoonfuls of rice, including walking to a park 20 minutes away from our house just to feed me, almost every day. But she never gave up on me. When I was young, I didn't really know what it meant to be immigrating to another country. I've only been to the little village and the small city that I was born in. That was already a huge place for me. When I was 3.5 years old in the year 2000, my parents were approved to migrate to Australia. But to me, I didn't understand that, and I was just sad and confused. I didn't know what day or month it was, but I clearly remember the scene at the airport when I was leaving my popo and gongong. I was a little girl, latching on and crying my eyes out, like something was being cut away from me. I was thinking, why would my own mum and dad take away someone that I love so dearly? The first few years in Sydney were very difficult. My parents worked very hard, and they were only able to afford to rent out a 1-bedroom in a shared complex. So my paternal grandma, which I call Mama, and I would move between my dad's 3 sisters' houses before we were able to secure 2 rooms to all stay together. After attending 1 year of preschool in 2002, I spent half a year at the local primary school, Waterloo Public School, while my parents worked part-time and studied English part-time. In 2002, my parents were able to purchase a townhouse in Western Sydney in a suburb of Auburn, which is where I spent most of my years growing up. This is when things started to pick up its pace. Then along came my younger brother towards the end of 2002, then my sister in 2004. Fast forward to 2009, my parents bought a Chinese restaurant in Rooty Hill to operate. They are still there today. This restaurant has provided many opportunities for us financially and has also united us as a family. So how would life be different if my parents didn't make that choice? Firstly, my family would only consist of my mum, dad and me. My brother and sister would not exist for me to boss around all day. Why? Because of the one-child policy in China that existed between 1979 and 2015. We would not be able to own our own business due to the communist ruling and my parents' lack of education. We would not be able to be around all of this nature and live in a place free of pollution. I wouldn't have been able to access free education and Medicare, nor would I have been exposed to the diverse cultures and foods. Australia provides a bigger space for our future generations to thrive in.
We decided to come to Australia because our family said here has better quality of air, better welfare and less people living. We were thinking there are more opportunities here. I think we made a good choice.
Tiny cities that you're holding in your little hand, glitter in the diamond.